Quick question. If you walked into your IELTS speaking test today and the examiner handed you a card that said, describe a place in a city where you enjoy spending time, would you actually know how to speak for 2 full minutes naturally without repeating yourself, without panicking halfway through? Because this is exactly the kind of question that feels easy until you try to answer it. You start fine, then after about 25 minutes, your brain goes blank and suddenly you're talking about trees and benches and more trees. So today we're going to fix that. You're going to hear 3 real level answers to this question: a band 5 one, a band 7 one, and a band 9. And more importantly, I'll show you what the band 9 version is doing differently, so you can start building answers that actually last the full 2 minutes without talking about trees constantly. So if cities, parks, cafes, or places you like ever come up in your exam, this episode is going to help you a lot. All right, let's get into that question. So the cue card reads as follows: describe a place in a city where you enjoy spending time. You should say where it is, what you do there, who you go there with, and explain why you enjoy spending time there. And if you don't know, you get 1 minute to prepare, and then you have to speak for up to 2 minutes. So let's give you a band 5 answer right now. I want to talk about a place in my city where I like to spend time, and it's a park near my house. It's not a famous park, but it's quite big, and it has trees and some benches. I usually go there when I feel stressed or when I want to take a break from work. Normally I go there alone, but sometimes I go with a friend. And when I go, I usually just walk around and listen to music, or I sit down and watch people. There are also many dogs, so it's kind of nice because it feels friendly. Sometimes I bring a coffee and I stay there for maybe 1 hour. And I enjoy this place because it makes me feel calm and relaxed. And the city is very busy and noisy. So in the park, it feels more quiet. Also, it's free and it's close to my home, so it's easy to go there. So yeah, that's a place I really like to spend time in the city. Okay, now before we break that one down and then we go on to band 7 and band 9, quick little side note: if you found yourself thinking, yeah, that kind of sounds a bit like me, how I sound when I try to answer these kind of questions, then you'll probably really benefit from the free lesson pack I've made for this episode. Inside it, you'll have 3 more part 2 cue cards about everyday topics. And for each one, you get a band 5, band 7, and band 9 model answer, plus short exercises so you can practice building your own responses instead of just listening passively. You can grab it by scanning the QR code on screen right now, or checking the show notes, description, or comments section. Just follow that link, which will ask you to put in your name and email, and then I'll be able to send it straight to your email inbox. Okay, so yeah, that was a band 5 response. And now let's break down why it was what it was, because we're about to move on to a band 7 and band 9. So I want to show you how to score higher in your next IELTS exam, or to simply level up your topic-specific language around places you love to spend time. So the first thing to point out was the sentence structure and grammar in general is completely understandable. The examiner has no problem understanding the speaker. And that's important because a band 5 is not bad English, it's functional English. But here's why it doesn't go higher than that. The vocabulary is very general. I think I said big, nice, calm, busy, quiet. These aren't wrong. They're just vague. And the listener never really sees the place in mind. And also, I'd like you to notice the structure. I said, I go there, I sit, I walk, and then I go there. It sounds like a list instead of a story. And grammatically, I played it very safe. Mostly simple sentences and no risk and no variety. So if you're around a band 5, your goal is not harder grammar, it's just clearer images. Instead of nice park, say a peaceful park, a busy park, a dog friendly park. You don't need sophistication necessarily. You just want to evoke more emotions. I'd say that's the easiest way to level up from that example of a band 5. But now let's move on up to a band 7 answer. Again, the question is the same, which is describe a place in a city where you enjoy spending time. You should say where it is, what you do there, who you go there with, and explain why you enjoy spending time there. Okay, so band 7 coming in now. So, a place in my city where I really enjoy spending time is a park not far from where I live. It's quite a spacious park with a small lake, lots of trees, and a few cafes nearby. So, it feels like a good escape from the busy streets. And I usually go there at the weekend, especially when the weather is decent. Most of the time I go on my own because it's a nice place to clear my head. But sometimes I meet a friend and we walk around and chat. But if I'm alone, I'll normally listen to a podcast, sit on a bench, or just wander around the paths. And what I like about this place is that it helps me switch off. Even though it's still in the city, it doesn't feel stressful. There are families, people exercising, and loads of dogs. So the atmosphere is relaxed, but not boring. It's also convenient because it's easy to get to and it doesn't cost anything. So it's a simple way to improve my mood without planning a big day out. All right, there we have the band 7 answer. And let's break it down. In comparison to the band 5, we're clearly in stronger territory. You can picture the place now: lakes, cafes, weekend walks. So that's already a big jump up. And we also heard some natural phrases like clear my head, switch off, a good escape. So why it's not a band 9 is because it still sounds a little bit careful. Every idea is explained clearly, but predictably. It feels organized like a short essay rather than a spontaneous memory. So, yeah, a band 7 is clear and confident, but a band 9, it feels lived in. So, to level up from here, the key isn't, again, more sophistication or bigger words, it's personality. Add small human details like a routine or a habit or a specific moment. And that's what elevates the answer to come across as natural fluency. So, are we ready? Are we ready for the band 9 answer? Let's do it. Well, I'd say my favorite place to spend time in the city is a little park near my flat. It's nothing touristy, but it's got this quiet charm, especially in the early evening when the light softens and the noise of the roads fades a little bit. I go there a few times a week, usually on my own, and it's become my go-to spot when I need to reset. I'll grab a coffee, walk a couple of loops around the lake, and then sit for 10 minutes doing absolutely nothing, which sounds lazy, but honestly, it's one of the best habits I've built. And what I love about it is the contrast. You know, 1 minute you're surrounded by traffic and people rushing around you, and the next you're watching ducks on the water and dogs causing chaos in the distance. It just puts everything back into perspective. For me, it's more than just a park. It's a little breathing space in the middle of city life, and yeah, I always leave feeling calmer and more grounded. There we go. So what changed? I didn't use really fancy vocabulary, did I? I'd say it was more about the control. I was guiding you through an experience, wasn't I? We got sensory detail, like light softens and noise fades. And we got routine. Like I said, I do 2 loops around the lake. And I think a bit of reflection as well, because I said it puts everything back into perspective. And this is exactly what examiners mean by natural fluency. It sounds like someone remembering, not performing. And that's the real difference between this band 7 and band 9 answer. Band 7 answers the question well. Band 9, it shares an experience. Now, if you're thinking, okay, but what if I get a completely different question in the exam? Well, I've made a free PDF lesson pack for you. Inside it, you'll get 3 more IELTS Speaking Part 2 cue cards, each with a band 5, 7, and 9 answer, plus short exercises so you can practice building your own responses. So just scan the QR code on screen right now or head to the link in the description, show notes, or comments section, and that will take you to this page where you pop your name and email in, and I'll be able to send it straight to your email inbox. And what's really good about this is you get to compare a band 5, 7, and 9 easily with my breakdowns that I include, because understanding the difference is one of the most fundamental steps you need to achieve in order to get a higher scoring answer. All right, that's it for today. Next time you practice speaking, don't just describe the place, try to recreate the moment. That's where fluency comes alive, when you're actually emotionally attached to it. If you enjoyed this, but you want me to cover a different topic, then just like Arpina did, write the topic in the comments section and I will aim to do the next video on your suggestion. But yes, thanks again, Arpina, for suggesting this one. I hope you liked it. Oh, and there's also another episode waiting for you right now on screen where we cover another IELTS topic, this time about people who inspire us. And that one's another really good one for practicing your storytelling. So I encourage you to click on that one right now.